Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. This is Anthony Costandius, psychologist in Durbanville. For those of you that have joined me for the first time, welcome. If you're a return visitor, I'm really happy to see you here again. A special thank you to people that have either liked or subscribed to the channel. That really means a lot to me. Most people, when they think about ADD or ADHD, which means attention deficit disorders or attention deficit disorders with hyperactivity or impulsiveness, they tend to start by referring to the behaviors that either the child is daydreaming or not finishing work or is not sitting still or whatever, and it's with these complaints that parents are often confronted, and it's with the similar issues that teachers in classes struggle, especially when they have to regulate those activities. But ADD does not start with the behavior. Let's for a moment consider how the nervous system works and how the transmission of signals in the brain work. For that purpose, I'd like to introduce you to my friend Mr. Mouse. Mr. Mouse sees his little cousin setting off a huge firecracker. So, what will happen in the brain? Along a neural pathway, there will be an electrical signal, and then we will reach something called the synapse. In the pre-synapse, that's the part just before the synapse, it's sort of decided which of the various neurotransmitters have to be released, and they are then transmitted onto the next neural fiber, which again follows to the next synapse, which follows onto the next neural fiber, until we have a response, which in this case means that my friend Mr. Mouse will run for all he's worth. Of course, the problem with people that have attention deficit disorders, the chemical that's supposed to transmit this message right inside the synapse, and that's one of these chemicals is called dopamine. What we know from research is that this dopamine is what's called hypoactive. This means that when the dopamine has to transmit its message, it doesn't do that particularly well. So over time, as you can see, there is a gradual loss of information strength. In the brain of the ADD, ADHD person, there's a little bit of a chemical malfunction. This is mostly due to a certain genetic predisposition coupled with hereditary factors. So if an ADD mouse sees the little cousin lighting a firecracker, so that when ultimately it does reach the executive center, there is some confusion as to what this particular signal means and what it's intended for. And of course the same applies to the ADD child or adult, because should I, for example, send it to go and fetch something in his room, yes, he gets the message, but over time this message weakens so that by the time the child gets to the room, he can't remember what he's supposed to fetch. And then of course he gets distracted and starts playing with his soccer ball and starts looking for his Lego pieces and does all sorts of other things instead of the thing he was required to do, simply because the signal strength weakened, with the result that the child could not remain fully focused. And secondly, because due to the lack of focus, if, for example, if you look at what happens in the brain and you look at brain A, you'll see loads of electrical activity and stimulation, but with brain B, you will see significantly less. And of course this is what happens in the ADD brain. And this understimulation is what triggers the inattentive, hyperactive and impulsive behavior. In other words, it's a symptom. It's not a willful act. Let's just take time to reflect on the fact of the presence of a chemical dysfunction that's at the root of this condition. Thank you for watching, and for those of you that hasn't done so, I'd like to invite you to like, share and subscribe to this channel, because for me it's a way of trying to reach the maximum amount of people to whom I could offer some help. Thank you very much. Good luck.